Howdy, Fort Bend. William Ferguson coming to you from the beautiful Seth today. And it is a fun interview for you today. I have a dear friend of mine, and I say that I would have never said that 4 years ago, but I have grown to appreciate and respect this dear friend of mine, and I'll get it over with. Hold on. Suzanne Whatley, all of my friends can now see you.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so folks, this is Suzanne Whatley. Let me tell you, I love her, but I think I love your husband too.
Everybody does.
Everybody loves Brad. Maybe that needs to be a bumper sticker. But Brad is just such a dear man. And Suzanne is a councilwoman for the city of Sugar Land. And she is amazing. And she has stood up time and time again and did the right thing when I looked at her thinking, wow, that's going to be tough for her to do, and she just does it every time. So, Suzanne, thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be fun. So, hopefully soon we're going to even have Mayor Zimmerman. He says he wants to be on here. So we're going to have a lot of fun. So, Suzanne, this is sort of a surprise to you that I even have you here. She doesn't even know what I'm about to give her a hard time about, but I'm going to do it anyhow. So, Suzanne, I'm just kidding. I'm here to show love to you.
I'm ready.
I know you are. You're good about that. So here's where I want to start. You've been a great councilwoman for the city. I mean, you really have stood up time and time again. I've seen people upset. I've seen people happy. I've seen people not understanding. I've seen it over and over. And every time you have a way of just controlling the situation in such a caring way, but in a lead way. And I want to ask this question. Why in the world did you want, don't give me your superficial anything.
You won't get anything superficial.
Like race cars or anything like that. Why in the world did you want to be a councilwoman? Because your life, like mine and others, they just kind of have to go on hold. Why did you want to do it?
Oh, that's such a great question, because people ask me why I ran. And at first it was like, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I realized, oh, William, as I talk to people, it was really pretty simple. People want to be valued, period. They want to be heard. They want to be valued. They want to be listened to. And one of the greatest things that ever happened was sitting on dais, watching people come up, struggling to come up and talk. You know, they get to the front. They're nervous. Some of them are crying. They care about the issues that are before us. And I'm sitting there thinking, I have the ability to make change for these people.
Sure.
And when I see somebody so upset, I will get their phone number, I'll call them, and I'll meet them for coffee. And I go, talk to me. Tell me why this means so much to you. What can I do to help you? Now, realistically, I can't change anything by myself. It takes 4 of us at least. But we need to know what matters to people. Wow. And that is, I have talked to so many people who disagreed with me. But listen, a disagreement means they're going to confirm my stance. I'm going to change my mind, or I'm going to help them better understand. Right. It's never a bad conversation.
Wow.
So talking to people who really have invested in the city, that's major to me. I love it. I love it. I live for it.
So, I've been surprised. It's funny you said that and I'll tell you why, because I've been surprised in the years I've been in council. We represent a city of 123,000, whatever the latest number is, 123,000. And I feel like I'm really surprised how few people do approach us, how few people do engage. Isn't it surprising?
It's amazing. I thought everybody came to our council meetings. It's like 5. But, we take the people we have that are interested, and then we kind of grow that population. Yeah. So in how we do that, and one of the things I love about it is we go into our neighborhoods, and we have those core people in each one of my neighborhoods in my district, and we reach out to them, we talk to them, and we tell them what's going on. If they don't come to us, we go to them.
Right.
And we find out how they feel. And they talk to their neighbors, and it grows that interest, and it gives us a platform to speak for. We can't do our job if we don't know what we're representing. I'm their voice. You got to talk to me.
Wow, I love that. Yeah. And, I'm going to have to give credit where credit is due. Dr. Lalani, who was here the other night, made a comment in line with something you just said. He said, when we are elected, the voter is not giving us authority. They are not giving us power. What they are giving us is their trust.
Absolutely.
And when he said that, it really hit me, because people trust that you and I and others are doing the right thing for them. And that's a heavy, it's one thing to say, hey, you're in charge. but to say, hey, I trust you, that really means a lot to me, and I'm sure it does you. I've seen you function. So, what would you say in your time in council? I don't want to go too far back because you've been in Sugarland for a while, but your time in council, what would be the sweetest moment in your time in council for you?
Oh, well, there's more than one.
I got to have one because you and I could run on all day long. Give me your favorite, sweetest moment.
Uh, this is really, really simple and silly almost, but I'm in HEB. I go work out, and I don't even look like me. And nobody knows who I am, by the way. They don't. And I love that. You can go somewhere and people go, oh, you're a council member. But we don't go around telling people, right?
Right.
But somebody sees you, and they go, oh, my gosh, thank you so much for what you did. Or, oh, my gosh, thank you. We don't get a lot of thank yous, and I think it's because they don't know who we are. We're
Right,
not, we
right.
don't go out and say, hey. But when somebody realizes we cared and we did something, that's a really sweet moment. And I
Sure.
know you were expecting something to do that
No.
we solved maybe.
That's perfect.
But, I maybe put up a stop sign.
Yeah.
Maybe we did something that somebody asked us to do and it took some time, but we heard them and we did it and they're going, thank you.
Yeah.
And that means now we get a little thank you and a lot of other stuff,
Right. Right.
the opposite. But that one thank you is enough to say, hey, we're doing something good.
Well, I have seen you empower our city staff in a way. You instill in them confidence, and when you do that, it's literally empowering them to go do what they are designated to do, and they don't have to act like, oh, she's not. You have been
Oh.
really good about kind of pressing people into a. I love that, and so off of that. Now, you can't get into projects. We know that, right? But watch this. How about your lowest point? This may be something people might want to hear. Like, what hurt you in a way you can share? What was a low point, maybe a disappointment? Something you could share with people that they probably think, well, that probably wouldn't have even bothered her.
Oh my gosh. We have the little targets on our back every now and
Of
then.
course.
And I don't even do next door at
Sure.
all, period, zero, zip, nada. And sometimes there's comments on Facebook. That doesn't bother me either.
Right.
Because I know people don't have the whole story. And
Right.
that I've learned that's fine. What really bothers me is when we have to do a vote. We have to take a vote, and we vote in the best interest of what's happening now, and we know it's going to affect the future 20, 30, 40 years from
Yeah.
now. And we're
Long time.
talking about, we're making decisions that are going to affect not you, but your grandkids and your
Yeah.
grandkids.
Yeah.
And people will look at that vote and go, you didn't hear us. Good Lord, I heard you. But I want to tell you,
Yeah.
if you will take the time to listen to me, why we voted this way.
Right.
Because nothing we do is about not hearing you. It's about the whole
Good point.
scope of what we're doing. And if I can take the time and you will listen, I will explain to you, this wasn't about doing that or not
Yeah.
hearing you. It was about taking into reviewing everything and making the best decision.
Oh,
And what you said is making an impact on something we're voting on later.
wow.
It's always included. So the hardest part for me is when people don't think we hear them.
Sure. So, and I'm not trying to dismiss them, but I am going to say this. Out of 123,000 people, I'm going to say it's 10.
Well,
I mean, it's very few. If it were 50, that would be a
Right.
huge number to me. I don't think it is. I think it's about 10 people that are always relatively frustrated with whatever's happening. And so my response in comparison is I am not making decisions for William Ferguson. I am making decisions for the future of the city of Sugarland, not William Ferguson. So there are preferences that I have that may not come out in a vote because my preferences don't matter. What matter is the future of Sugarland. And I think you share that feeling or that impression.
we may have had that conversation because I've been on dice when I have voted against something or for something that I'm like, I don't really think I
Yeah,
agree with this, but my constituents
Your
do.
constituents, yeah.
So it's not about me.
Right.
I'm voting for something that the majority of my constituents want and need.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't get to voice my opinion. We
Right.
never voice our opinion. We don't work for us.
Right.
We are elected by the people, and we work for the people.
You just made me think of, I remember when I was in a forum, a debate early on when I was running for office years ago. And I remember the question was adding apartments to a place in our city. And I remember the question was, how would you vote about that? And it was the easiest question ever, and no one wanted it. And I'm like, no, I give me that question. I'm going to vote however my constituents want.
Right.
It's not a difficult question because this isn't about William wanting apartments or not. This is about what do the constituents want, and that's the direction we go. Now, sometimes your constituents and mine, we share constituents. They don't realize we've done our homework.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
They don't know we've walked neighborhoods. They don't know. And so until you tell them, they go, oh. And then I'm like, no, we've done our homework, and okay. So I don't want to digress on that too much. So here's where I want to go. Sugar Land. It's the sweetest city in Fort Bend, I know. Certainly Texas, probably America, okay? We've got everything that we love in Sugar Land.
we do.
Can it get any better?
Yeah.
Come on. How can it get better? Race
Well,
car track? How does it get
I did
any
ask
better?
for that. Oh, that was an Andretti kart track.
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
But, yes, it can get sweeter because if we remain stagnant,
Yeah.
we kind of, the
Right,
sweetness wears
right.
off. So we've always got to move forward,
Yeah.
William. And I don't know how that is. And that's where, oh my gosh, MyAct. You were there for MyAct, the Mayor's
Yes,
Youth
yes.
Advisory Council. And we sit with these 14 and 15-year-olds and we go, what do you want to see?
They're amazing.
What do you want to see in our city? Because right now we're asking to make plans for what you want. And they come up with these ideas and we go, I didn't think of that. So can it get sweeter? Yeah, we don't even know what that looks
Right.
like. For me, I could tell you what I want. I want a culinary school. I want things that, grow our minds, grow.
Right.
And I'm just right now into Mediterranean food, which I just take the olives out. And Brad's like, that is Mediterranean. I go, I know. But, so those kind of things that change the way we live
Sure.
and focus on preventive care, mobility, those things are just open
Yeah.
to all kind of
Yeah.
ideas. So can we get sweeter? Oh, yeah.
So, I was asked recently in an interview about our upcoming State of the City, what would be just a crazy dream, a crazy idea that I would have. And to your point, I'm willing to think big. I'm willing to do that. And I had a silly answer, and I think the cameraman was cracking up when I said it. But I said, the weather got really, really hot this summer to 118, and when we were doing this video, it was like 51 degrees. I said, maybe if we put a clear dome over the city and we could control the weather. And he looked at me, he goes, not that crazy. I'm being silly. But yeah, Sugar Land could be sweeter. And correct me if I'm wrong, what I've learned, one of the major things that I've learned as a council member in Sugar Land is, everybody misuses, in my opinion, the term diversity, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll use it for their own gain. Mine, in my case, is I love the multicultural, multi-background, multi-everything that we have in Sugar Land because it's made me a better human.
Oh, yes.
And so I see Sugar Land with this multi-everything, and I didn't know anything about X, and now I do, and I didn't know anything about Y, and now I do. And it's really been fun, and I see you're kind of growing in that as well, and your district is fabulous,
It is.
and I just think there's so much fun happening, and with the youth group getting involved in council, it's all a sweeter future. And so I just had to have you here today. So it's my understanding, of course it is, it's my understanding that you are running for reelection.
I am.
Yay. Got to tell you, I'm a fan, okay? So Suzanne's running for reelection, and how does that make you feel? Are you excited? Are you nervous? What is your thoughts about a reelection campaign?
So, a lot of people will say, oh, God, I hope I don't have an opponent so I don't have to run. I get that because
Yeah.
it takes time. It takes money.
Yeah.
It makes your focus go to a campaign rather than city work. And, I'm one of the council members like you who spend 95% of my time on council business.
Right.
I have my own business.
Right.
And it should be me.
It takes all
And I'm
that
not
time.
focusing on it, but I'm focusing on, 24/7. I take phone calls from constituents on Saturdays
Sure.
and Sundays. So to focus on a campaign is like, but I'm getting into it now, and I'm going, oh my gosh, I get to block.
Yeah.
Block walk again. I get to meet my people. It's refreshing,
Yeah.
and it's not a bad thing to go back out there and get back into it. I don't, it's a good thing.
Yeah. So
Everything's a positive thing if you look at it the right way.
So why am I so excited about you running for reelection? Because the truth is, I can't wait to get in your district, which is also part of my district. But I can't wait to get into your district and tell them what I've seen you do over your last term. And I'm really excited for your reelection. And I know you're not worried, but I am excited. Like, I think I've told you,
Me
I'm
too.
ready to go for your reelection. I think you've done a fabulous
Thank
job.
you.
I think you'll continue to do a fabulous job. Sugar Land will get sweeter and sweeter and sweeter with your laughter, with your excitement, with your courage. And so I just wanted to get you on today and tell you what I think of you and what I think you've done for the city. And I hope you just keep fighting for it and keep being the Suzanne Whatley that we all love. And from time to time, you guys need to know she drives a little race car. And so if you see her exceeding the speed limit, even by 1 mile an hour, it's okay to tell her to slow down. She would never do that.
I would
But
never
anyhow,
do that.
so Suzanne, here's how we're going to wind down.
Okay.
I'm going to turn your camera on in
Okay.
just a moment. And I want you to just look at the city. I want you to look at your constituents, and I want you to just tell them whatever. How can they help? Can they get involved in your campaign? Is there anything that they can do? Pray, contribute, whatever, whatever you need, volunteers or whatever. So the floor is yours, and you are officially looking at your constituents now.
Wow, you just said pray. Oh my gosh, William. We believe in a higher power. Whatever that higher power is for you, that's what got me here. Prayer and believing that I was put here for a reason is why I'm here. And if you ask me why I ran, I can tell you everything else, but it was through a lot of prayer for Brad and I. I don't do this alone. I do it with Brad. I do it with my husband, who's always by my side, and we all know he's always there. How do you get involved? Not just in my campaign, because I would love to have your help, but I want you in this city. I want you to understand what we're doing so you can be a part of it. I think in my last video, The State of the City, I said, this is not about us, and it's not. It's about you, and it's about how you want to see your city grow. Whether you like it or not, let us know. I mean, this whole council is used to everything. We hear the good, the bad, the ugly. And we want to know. Nothing is off the charts. I hear about the Fountain and Imperial. I hear about roads and the upper part of my district. I hear about trees. I hear about grass. And I hear about issues that are life-threatening. So there's nothing that I can't help you with or try to. And you're precious to me. I love, I don't want to get all sentimental, but I love it. I love representing you, and it's an honor. And I want your vote. Again, I want to keep doing this.
Okay, so I'm going to do what I do often, and I'm going to now look at your constituents, who are my constituents, but this isn't about me right now. Folks, here's the deal. Suzanne Whatley has served the city of Sugar Land very well. This is not an endorsement, but I can tell you I'm crazy about her leadership style. I'm crazy about her impact on the city. So here's my challenge to you. If you believe in her mission and her vision and her ability to lead, here's what I need you to do. I need you to connect with her. I need you to become a volunteer. I need you to contribute. I need you to be a part of telling your community. Her whole District 1 needs to hear more about her and how she has led well and how she will lead well in the future. So my challenge to you is get involved, because your future matters to us, and we fight for it every day. And I'm telling you now, Suzanne, you're fabulous, and I want you to keep doing what you're doing for the city. So God bless you, and howdy, Fort Bend. Have a great one. We'll see you soon.